watching Melody Lane. With me you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Hello everyone! Ooh, waiting to make sure I am live. I just knocked that down. This is taking a while. I am live. The delay sometimes is such a long delay. I thought for sure I was not live. Hello everyone! Happy Tuesday that feels so much like a Monday. It felt so weird today. I'm like, no, it is Tuesday. It's just one of those Tuesdays that feel like a Monday. That's okay, because then it means Friday is sooner than you thought. How is everybody today? Hope everybody had a good Labor Day weekend. Well, for our American friends. I know that's just an American thing. But hope you guys had a good holiday weekend. We finally got to, well, it wasn't a carnival. It was a Labor Day fest in the town over, but we finally got to like a carnival and got like carnival type food, like food truck food. And there was such a good band, and then there was fireworks right there where the band was playing, and I don't know why we've never went. It's literally the next town over. It's where my daughter lives, and we had never been to their Labor Day fest, but it was really nice. Hello, hello, Jamie, Gloria, Sue, Mindy, Beth, hello. Right? Tuesday Monday. Just felt so weird. Go to my design space really quick. But so today I'm going to be putting together the card I designed on Saturday. And if you were watching with me Saturday when I designed, I was having issues with just some weird things happening. And it was just because I had that project I was sharing. Just the slicing. Here, I'm going to go ahead and flip over to this. There was just a lot of pieces to that, a whole lot of pieces. It doesn't look like it. When we look at it here, it looks like, oh, that's really simple. There's just a few pieces to it. But when that go away? Okay, there it is. Just these pieces here on this side, I figured out that it was over 200, between slicing and deleting, it was over 200 clicks just to make these pieces of paper. Because in the video, I showed you how to take basic cut ones that have layers to it. So each little picture, which this was like one square, and then I had to do 3 of those, but each one was 5 different layers. So it was like 180 just slicing and deleting. There was so much. Hi, Karen. Hello, Carol. Hello, Bone Tired. Oh, it's homework season again, Carol. That does not make me happy. So glad to have you here again, Karen. So it was running slow, and I was having a weird thing going on with the image search. If you were looking, where when I went to advanced search, it was not falling over. As soon as I went to a new canvas, it was fine. But that's just something good to know, is if you're working on something, you're doing a ton with that, like I would just go to another project just to do the slicing and stuff for the background. Which, if you watch the video, you'll see how much easier it is if you take one that's print and cut. Now this was a background that was just set to print and cut, so I could slice this through. So this one went much quicker. I just dragged the paper to what size I like, and then like duplicated, and then ended up doing that easily. This one you can still do. You can still turn any cut into, get it how you want it, slice it, and then flatten it for print and cut. But yeah, there was just a ton of actions in there. But good thing for our Patreons, you don't have to do that because you get access to it just starting at $2 a month. You get access to all of our projects. So you can save yourself 200 clicks on that. But I do love, if we zoom in on this, I just love this pattern paper for this cute little fall mug. But it's got pumpkin pie and cinnamon rolls and all the yummies. Hi, Kimberly. Hello, Gail. Yes, access. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump over, and we're going to go ahead and put this together. And this will be an easy card to put together. Oh, you don't want to see me. And just describe what I'm doing and you don't see it. It'd be like a surprise, and then at the end you get the reveal. Hopefully this flips. Earlier it was upside down and it would not rotate. I'm like, pumpkin spice. Oh, I have not had those, Mindy. Pumpkin spice goldfish crackers. All right, so in my little box here, I have all of our little pieces. And you guys are gonna have to help me decide on the whipped cream because I did two different ways to do it, and I'll show you that when we get to that. But I'm gonna grab all these pieces. Okay, first our card base here, and I know there were some questions when I was doing it about how this folded. Now I originally found this in Design Space and I could not find who it was from. And it had a watercolor cocktail on it. I could not find that, but I've been looking because I like to give credit to who it's from. And I found one similar and it had a teacup on it. So it's not the same one, but that one was done by Narelle Darley. But on hers it said it came from, I believe it was a French blog that it came from. But this is the paper you're going to have for your background. And then when you fold this, your hexagon is going to sit on this here. So you'll have this popped out. So you'll just fold with a valley, mountain, mountain, valley. And then when you fold it down, you just push it down. It'll go down like that. But then it'll stand. It should. That's the goal anyway. So we'll go ahead and get to that. You know what I just had for the first time I've had in a really long time? I got them at Trader Joe's. I don't know why it's been so long since I had them. Animal crackers. And they are so delicious. Don't know why I waited so long. Okay. Now I want to go ahead and put my mats on, but I actually did I cut both papers. I couldn't decide. I am going to use the pumpkin spice one. I did cut those, and then I did cut the cute. This is a cute option too, which you have both options in the card file, so you can just hide which one you don't want, but I just thought it was so cute with the little mushrooms and the pumpkins too. Yeah, that's funny you said that, Sue, because when you said that, I was like, I think this is how it folds, and I literally was in the bathtub, and I ripped the back page out of a book. It was just a blank page, and I ripped it out of the book, just so I could be like, wait, this folds how I think it does, right? To make sure it folded. But it definitely did. Alright. I'm just going to look at the picture I took and make sure I don't do things backwards. Okay, so I'm going to have the card this direction. So I want to make sure when I do these pieces, I have the right direction going. Because I don't want to... Well, I guess it wouldn't matter if we flipped it that way. But this way is going to go this direction. So we're just going to glue on these pieces for the mat. Oh, right there. And I'm just going to get these lined up before I do that. That way if I have any, like it's sliced through pattern-wise, I can figure out the order. I know I said it's the last week of summer, and like it's technically not, but does anybody else just like once Labor Day's here, you just consider summer done? I do. Even though it's technically, I think, like September 22nd. Not that I don't think it matters so much. Nobody's going to notice this, but I was just looking to see the pattern in which order it goes. So we're going to go ahead and glue these on. Yeah, has anybody decorated for fall yet? My husband, when he was coming home today, he said, oh, there's a couple houses in the neighborhood that got their fall and Halloween stuff up. I was like, pretty sure there's just an unwritten rule somewhere that once September 1st comes, it's fair. Oh, that might help. Trying with my glue press here, but it is not. Acting funky. Might be stopped up. That might be stopped up. Okay. We'll use our extra fine point. Yeah, Mindy, is this the first fall that you're gonna live in Florida? You don't get to see the fall there. Fall doesn't happen in Florida. I know it's tempting to get my fall decor out. I just love the colors of it, and it's warm. The fall colors are like, add warmth. Alright, so we're just going to glue each of these pieces on. Kimberly, still 89 degrees here, Holly. Well, it's been in the 70s. It's supposed to be in the 70s for the next 2 weeks, too. I'm loving it. No air conditioning, no heat. Yeah, that's funny. Me and Matt were... Yeah, it keeps pushing that glue bottle back on me. I don't know why. I keep pushing it down, but it keeps... I think it's stuck in there, clogged. But yeah, Matt and I was talking earlier, and he's like, I said, you know, he said, I could live somewhere where it's 55 to 75. I was like, no, but honestly, if there's somewhere where the temperature was just like 60 to 80 all the time, that's perfection. These pieces. But we're going to do some fake whipped cream too. That's why I need your guys' help to decide. Because when I was thinking of what to do the whipped cream with, I was going to do glitter, which you could. That would look really pretty. But then I was like, wait, I have stuff that looks like literally fake whipped cream. Jamie said I would be good with 45 to 65. Yeah, honestly, I don't need all the way up to 80. 75 is a good number to stop at. Oh, wow, Cindy. A high of 60. That definitely feels like fall. I know when I get off here, I'm making a hot tea. It's my new, like, I have my summer drink, which was like the pink drink. Now I have my fall drink already, which I guess I didn't know when I made it. I just like hot black tea, and I was like, what if I put vanilla and honey in it? And then you add a little milk, and I did, and it was delicious. And then my daughter told me that's basically a London fog. Well, it doesn't have honey in it, but I add honey even with some honeycomb in it and mix it up, and it's so delicious. I know, we're all excited for summer till it comes to, and then like 2 weeks in, and we're like, you know what? As a matter of fact, I don't need this. All right, and then these pieces here, we're going to go ahead and just stack these two. Now this yellow, I didn't have quite the color I wanted, so I ended up just doing print then cut on this piece, which is perfect, because if you don't have the color you need, you can just print the color you need. Mm-hmm. And then all the pattern paper here is just all print and cut from Design Space. Just really, really, really nice, especially if you live somewhere I mean, there's Michael's and Hobby Lobbies, but there's some people that A, live far from those, but also the selection is very limited in those. You know, you don't have a huge selection in those stores. Like in Columbus, there was a Marco's Paper, and that place was amazing, and you had so much to choose from. Oh my gosh, I've never used my Wizard of Oz paper yet. Okay, I've got some pieces there. Now I just want to go ahead and we're going to glue some of the little decor for the mug together here. I did it 2 different ways. Which way did I want? And when I did these, I cut it with my Venture. And I just did intricate cuts because there's some teeny tiny little pieces to this acorn here. I'm just knocking out the little pieces I need. Cindy, so you can take any image and basically turn it to print and cut paper. If you want to see how on Saturday's video I show the difference, there's a big difference between taking paper, an image that's already set to print and cut in Design Space and slicing it, because you can slice through those. But this pattern was basic cut, so, and it's 3 sections. It's like I duplicated it. So in this one section, each layer is 5, because there's 5 different colors. So each layer was 5 different colors. So I had to slice through each individual layer for each one, but it was a timely thing. I didn't show all of it live because we would have been there. It was over 200 clicks just to make this paper. But you can. The point is you can. And, you know, if you wanted bigger print, then you wouldn't have to have sliced it so many times. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and put our little unicorn. I did not just call this a unicorn. We're going to put our acorn together. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, and then I also, like Mindy's talking about, you can also do pattern fill. So you can just upload your own image for print and cut, and then you can slice through that. And then you can also adjust. And I forgot to show this when I was live, and I thought about it when I was done. You can also, with that pattern fill, you can also adjust it, like make it bigger, so the pattern's bigger, and move it around. Who here, comment below if you have not used pattern fill before. Yeah, so there really is so many ways to just make your own paper. Yay! Oh my gosh, speaking of Savannah, it's 1 month. I know I was talking to Deborah earlier. It is 1 month from today. That's so crazy. Makes me feel like I have so much to do. So it's so hard to see. It's so little. So little, but little unicorn. Dang it, I did it again. It's a little acorn. Apparently have unicorns on the brain. That's so funny. All right, and then we have our little leaf here. So I got this, which if you saw that I was designing live, I explained like why I chose one like this one. This one has a little thicker in the middle cut out. So you really want to look for that when you look for like leaves. Oh, that's awesome, Gloria. I actually made papers. We don't know how. We can't even get into that site, to be honest. The site with our pattern paper we can't get into because it sends a thing to Melody's phone, which isn't going anymore. So we have no way to get in it. But I actually made a bunch of pattern papers, how Melody did. They're on my iPad. I just don't know what to do with them to get them to you guys. Make sure you glue that on right, because I feel like, hold on, pull that off, because I think this is a very close each direction. Yes. Okay, just pay attention when you do this leaf. It is very, very similar in each direction. But we got it now. There we go. And then we have our little pumpkin, which I wanted some depth to these, so I did each little section 3 times. Now I glued 2 of them together. One of them I already glued 3. So this pumpkin has 4 little pieces. Well, and the little tiny stem. I'll have to look at my picture to see how these go exactly. But now I'm just going to glue on the... And you want to make sure you match these up too. When I was doing this pumpkin, you could too do this like with iron-on or vinyl and put it on. Just pay attention to your little pieces because they're a little close. They're a little different, but they are close. Hi, Donna. Welcome. I did, Gloria. I used the Venture to cut those tiny leaves. The Venture does amazing cutting the little things for me. But I've been using so many different machines lately. I've used the Maker 4, the Joy Extra, and the Venture recently. And if you do this project, I did duplicate these pieces. If you don't want to stack them to add like depth, you don't have to. This piece. Look, I'm missing one somewhere. I did glue on the stem just because that piece was so teeny tiny. I did not want to lose it. All right. We got that glued. Oops. Keep grabbing my glue press. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Dawn, do you have Labor Day in Canada? I mean, like, do they have such a thing, or is that just like an American thing? The card is making me hungry. That's what it is. Okay. I'm just looking at my picture so I can look at my little pumpkin pieces. So the curvy little one goes on this side first. Okay, curvy one, then the bigger curvy one, and then like that. This is an extra layer for one. Looks like they're all on there though. Okay. All right, so now I just have my pumpkin. I just went ahead and laid my pumpkin out, how it goes on here. I'll start by the outside piece. I think I left my top off of this. I think when I pulled this up, my glue press, I don't think I took the cap off. So this is just going to have a little offset on it, so. Do you guys use your Cricut at all to decorate pumpkins? Like for a pattern to carve it, or I've done where I decorated like the fake pumpkins and I did vinyl on it. The papers that I'm using, Dawn, are they NDS? I made them. So I did make all the papers from NDS. This was a print and cut. This was a pattern that was basic cut, so you weren't here earlier. I explained it. It took me 200 slices and deletions just to make this pattern paper for this project. But it's in Patreon file, so it's already done for you, so you have that done. So you don't have to do that. Saves you 200 clicks just in the paper. And once you do it, it seems like a ton of clicks, but once you do it and you get your whole method, you know, and get down, it goes pretty quick. It just can be easy. It easily can. You can easily just click the wrong button though too, so you just gotta be able to watch what you're clicking. Yes, you can. Yes, Molly did that a lot too. I needed to scoot this over just a tiny bit. Yes, you can go ahead and put the score lines so you can see where to put your pieces. And that's super good too, especially when you have one with like where it's very specific to where you line up your pieces to. If I was going to do that, I'd probably use, say, my Maker 4, just because I can use the scoring wheel to put those really good score marks in. So, our little pumpkin is complete. It stuck to me. It stuck to me. And then in here we have... And then our little print and cut pieces, which I ended up doing the little cinnamon stick. And then this is an extra leaf. I don't know if I'll use this one, but it's just a really pretty print and cut leaf. And you know me, I like options. Oh, that's so funny. Not the blue bottle. That's so funny. And then I have two different Nomies too, because I just couldn't decide, and they're both cute. One's got a pumpkin, one's got an acorn. All right. Should I glue those on? Yeah, let me just glue those first. Then we're going to go ahead and do the whipped cream. I'm just going to go ahead and lay this flat to glue these on. Now after this, our Savannah trip's coming up. I have to work up on a shirt, I have to work on a shirt design. I know kind of what I want to do, but I want to make sure it's not too many layers. Got these on. Next. I need a beverage. I have no drink around me, and I so need a drink. Some water. If you guys seen the mystery box reveal the other day, I did a tutorial at the end of that too, making a cosmetic bag. And I made a wicked one with stuff from the recent mystery box. And I said in the video, like, oh, my daughter's probably going to take this. She did. She already took it. So I already got to make another one. It was just perfect wicked colors. Speaking of Wicked, have you guys seen the Wizard of Oz is at the Sphere in Las Vegas? And it like comes to life, like at the tornado part, you have wind blowing on you, there's stuff blowing in the air, it smells like the storm. There's a part where the bubble, the fairy godmother, or the the Good Witch comes down and the bubble bursts and bubbles come all over you, or when they're under the apples, where the trees are like fighting, these little foam apples fall from the sky on you. It's a whole 4D experience. I want to go so bad, but I told my hubby, I was like, well, that's too much, so we're just gonna have to sit. I said we can just sit in the living room and you can blow bubbles on me. Oh. That would be so neat, though. I know, right, Sue? I would too. If I could, believe me, I would. I've never been like, I would get on a plane and go for something so much in my life. That's my favorite movie, and just the 4D experience. Oh, I seen though it was like somebody had posted, and one of those little foam apples that fall from the sky, somebody was selling on eBay for like $500 or something, which I was like, that's crazy. Yeah, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We were just talking about that the other day too, Dawn. When we moved here, several years, for the first several years that we lived here, there's a theater in a town over that every Saturday at midnight they would show the Rocky Horror Picture Show and people would dress up. And I was young when that came out, but my brother was huge on that, and he would go, I can't remember, he's got a number of how many times he's seen it in the theater, and then he had all these things, you know, at certain times that had to happen where toilet paper was thrown when they say, hey, Scotty, and there was like scorecards when something happens. But I know, that was such a fun experience. Okay, now we have that. I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to glue 2 mugs together, again, just to give it a little more depth, sturdiness. I wanted to get all this part done before I get messy, because the next part is the messy part. But it doesn't have to be. Okay, now we have that glued together. I can go ahead and glue my Gnomey Gnome on. I still don't know which I'm gonna do. All right, I want to talk about the whipped cream. So when you cut the whipped cream, you have 2 pieces here. Hi, Rosie. So happy to see you in here. Oh, that's so cool. Hi, Terry. I missed you up there. So happy to see you in here too. Okay, so this is our whipped cream. We have 2 pieces for it. So one, you could, if you want, which would be pretty, you could cut it out of glitter. You could totally do glitter cardstock. You could do glitter iron-on, however you want. But then I thought, hold on, let me use my... Where'd it go? I lost a piece. Let me use my Aileen's Glitter Snow, which is like fake snow, but also perfect for fake whipped cream, right? And then I did 2 pieces, and you guys are going to have to help me figure out which way we're going to do. Thank you. Okay, so option 1 is we just keep the white background, and I went on this and put the fake snow and then added a little glitter. So we can have that go on top like that for the whipped cream, and then put the pieces on. So this is option 1, where it's just a little whipped cream. And then option 2 is I did the whole back piece with the fake snow, which you can see really looks like whipped cream here. And then I could go ahead and put just the plain white piece with the swirl lines on top of it. They are on there, right? It's so hard to see, but they really are. In person, I see the swirl lines on there. But you could just keep the whipped cream too and take this off, but it just loses, I just like it with it on there because it gives the different like sections of it. Oh, I did not know that, Kimberly. That's crazy. I loved that show. I used to watch all the HGTV shows. Then I realized that was expensive and kept like giving me ideas and I had to stop. So, option 1, do we do it just with the thin little piece? With it? Or option 2, and put it in the comments below. Do we do the full whipped cream with just the then overlay with the sections? So I'll wait for you guys to decide that, and I'm going to get set up to go ahead and make a mess. Got my little tray. Hi, Christina. I know it's tough. I did each, and then at first I was just going to do this without the layover, but I was like, no, in person the layover looks, because then you see like the swirls kind of. Option 2, option 2. No worries, Christina. Okay, option 2. Option 2 is the winner. You get more of the like whipped cream effect with it, I think, because this one's so little. You can see the glitter, but it's really hard to tell that it's... Hi, Nicole! Hello, hello! Alright, so I have one done, but we're going to go ahead and make one too, so I can show you. Just going to make sure I get my design going the right way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my Aleene's Glitter Snow, which I did. There is a link in the video description below if you want that. I always use this stuff. And for Christmas cards, just think fake snow. It's so good for that. And it has a little sparkle in it. I wanted a little more sparkle, so I add even more glitter. Oh, I moved my... Oh, I was like, oh, I moved my whole paintbrush thing, but it's right here. And I like to put this on with my finger. If you guys have seen me use this a lot, it just peaks really nice on your finger, but I'm going to try to do it with a brush. You can make fake snow with glue and baking soda and paint it. Ooh. Just glue and baking soda. Thanks for sharing that, Dawn. I'm going to have to make that. Isn't it crazy how so many things you just mix like the easiest things together and it gives them to you? I'm always amazed. But this is like the texture of it. It's kind of like shaving cream, I feel. But we want to do this whole one, so we will just... And then just go ahead and dab it all over. I like to take the flat edge to it. What about when you do shaker? No, that wouldn't work because it wouldn't shake. I was like, what if you put real fake snow? You know that snow you add water to and it's like fake snow? What if you did that in a shaker card? But then I was like, it's just going to stick to it. It's one of those things that sounded like a good idea for half a second. And I was like, that's not going to work. All right. There, it looks like we made whipped cream. And you can just leave it like that if you want. Because I love sparkle, I'm going to add some of the Spectra glitter, which is really good, just like snow glitter. It just gives that little sparkle like it's on, like it's snow. But I don't want a ton on here. Now, I would, if I do this, I'm going to have to use this piece, which is wet. It's not horrible. But the way I would put this piece in is just set it into here while this is wet. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to barely... I just want to make sure it's adhered everywhere, but I don't want to push it in too far. But you could glue it too, but after this dries, but you're going to have a weird texture to glue it to. So that's why I would just stick that in here. Like that. Okay. And then we have that piece, the whipped cream done. Alrighty. So let's take our cup. And we're going to glue this to the back. You could have this, actually, I think it looks better on the front. Kind of like the whipped cream is coming down a little. But you can, if you want, you can glue this behind it, or you can just have it sit on there like that. But I just want to check if I do that. Do I have enough room for my gnome? Because when I designed it, I expected the whipped cream to go behind it. Which he's a little bit shorter because his hat turns. So close. I'm going to go ahead and glue our little Nomi on here. Put him down by the bottom. And then also in the frosting we have, this is going to go off to the side. We have a leaf, the acorn, and the cinnamon stick. I know, me too, Kimberly. I know, I just looked at the numbers. So glad you guys are all here. New Zealand. Oh my gosh, Dawn, that place is phenomenal. Okay. Oh, I just threw my leaf. All right, so in this, I have my leaf. I have the cinnamon stick behind the leaf, which again, you're just going to be able to stick this in because it's going to dry into the fake snow. And then our leaf over it, which I have this pretty print and cut leaf too. I think I'm going to do the print and cut leaf. I just love the colors it adds, but you can add either one. Such a hard decision. And then our little acorn here too. Oops. No, okay. Oh, I got fake snow all over my hands. I need to touch up my nails, but I did the fake snow earlier and I had fake snow everywhere and I'm like, yeah, that's just gonna mess up my nails. Well, let me just wait. Okay. So then you put your little ingredients in your whipped cream, which I thought too, you could add like candy corn, pumpkin pie slice. What else? I was just thinking of different fall foods. I'm like, I better if I put this on top. Yeah, we can go on top right there. Alright, so I'm just going to turn this over and then put some of the glue at the bottom of this. And again, you can put it behind or in front, so it just depends how you want it. It's hard to mess with when it's all wet. I'm like, oof. And just carefully push this part down. Get my fake snow off of there. Okay. We have a fun little fall mug. What is it? Could be pumpkin spice latte. It could be chestnut praline. Okay, then we can go ahead and take this piece, which is our centerpiece for there. And we're going to glue that on, and then the little pumpkin goes with it too. So we're just going to... turn this over and glue it. Thank you. Yeah, right, Sue? You can skip. Just this project alone, save over 200, well, that 200 clicks was just the one paper. Then I made print and cut paper. And then the other pieces too. So heck, it was like 300 clicks you'll save yourself for $2. And that's just one project. So save yourself like thousands and thousands of clicks. All right. And you can do fun things like come with us on our Patreon trip to Savannah, Georgia in 1 month from today. There we go. We put him on. Then we can go ahead and glue our pumpkin on, which I won't put the glue all the way over to the one side because I'm going to have that hang over just a little bit. I know, I'm going to be sending something out soon, too, about a theme. If somebody wants to do a theme thing. I know some didn't want to, but if we want to do just something small. I just thought we had so much fun with our 80s theme, and everybody was dressed 80s. I just love a good theme. Can't help it. There we go. And honestly, I would do probably like another layer of mug, which I had. I would oh, you know what I did? I was like, that's really thin. That's so funny I did that. I did cut 3 layers of mug. This is my piece of 2 glued together, so it'd be thicker. This is just my single one. But yeah, definitely 2 or 3. It just gives it more dimension on the card. It's funny I did that. I know, Dawn. Who's going to be at the top of our pyramid now if we do a cheerleading pyramid, Dawn? Okay. Just need to make another one, but that was that card too with the other leaf. All right, and then the back side. So for this card, because how it folds is it's gonna fold like this, and you're gonna have this on the front. So you don't have anywhere to put your sentiment. So that is why I put it on the back here. Make sure it's not upside down. And then I ended up, there's 2 different sentiments too that you can put on the inside. This is the one I ended up using. Matt's always wanted to eat at Paula Dean's restaurant, and it closed. They just closed, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or something, a month ago maybe. I was like, well, I guess we won't be going there. But you could with this too. You could put something on this side too. I thought about putting something, just do a print and cut cute something fall on that side there. But now we can just go ahead, take and glue this on. So I'm just going to go ahead and put glue on this piece. And I don't go all the way up to the top, so I'm just going to do the center here. I'm just going to flatten this down. Hopefully get that centered. And then press. Yeah, my glue bottle was clogged. Yeah, I think I left the cap off of my glue press. It was not coming out. But that's okay, because I was going to use my extra fine point for a couple things anyway. Yeah, the cheapest option is definitely to do the eco tank and then you convert it to sublimation, which I don't. Next time I need sublimation so bad. Just can't get it right now, but if I could, I would do the Epsom and then just convert it. I know the sawgrass is so expensive. And really, why get that if you can just like convert the other? Okay, so there is the finished card, and then it sets up nice for display. But you could put something over here too. I feel like you could put the sentiment there if you want, but if you want to display it, it's a little different. But you just fold it down, and then that is the card. Thank you guys. But you could use this card base and turn it into whatever you want, but I love the idea of the fake snow for the whipped cream. So, you know, definitely going to, I already had an idea with different mugs for a Christmas one that has like several little mugs, but I just think they're so cute. And the Christmas mugs, there's so many to choose from in Design Space, with little gingerbread and all sorts of cuteness. So, I want to do that. I don't know, using the fake snow anytime I can use it makes me happy. Whether it's snow, here it's whipped cream. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me today on this Monday, Tuesday. It does not. My hubby's off tonight, so we're going to watch a show and I'm going to make tea. I only let myself have caffeine on the weekends, which I know sounds crazy. So it's his weekend. He can have a beer and I get coffee or tea. This card, oh, good question. I hadn't folded it, so I wasn't sure of the size. Let me tell you what this is finished, because I could shrink the whole size card down if I need to. So it is 6 inches tall and 5.25. So it's 6 by 5.25 when it's all folded. Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. That's so cute. It's just cute to do, like, I'm thinking like fall decor, like the wood decor, you know, like the wood rounds where you do like happy fall and then do like a big pumpkin spice with the fake whipped cream. You can do big ones too. I see people use that. It's like spray foam. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And it expands. Is that, what is that stuff called? And it expands. It looks like whipped cream when it comes out, and then it expands. They do it with lots of different stuff. I can't think of the name of it, but that, you could use that too for like a big one. Thank you guys. Hopefully we'll be live Friday with some new image sets. We were up to like, I think 6 last Friday. So every Friday we look to see how many image sets we have. And then when we have enough to go through with you guys, we will. And I have a feeling like it has to be, if we don't get too many more soon, we'll still go because there's so many new projects we can look through just in Design Space from other people too. Oh, totally, Mindy. You could totally do a birthday card. Caulk, there you go. Yeah. So if we're not live Friday, which I believe we will be, I'm hoping for lots of new images. Alex will be live Saturday designing something too. He's just getting back from Atlanta. So thank you guys for joining. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all the comments. I love when there's lots of comments going and we can chat with everyone. So thank you guys. And again, Patreons, I did go ahead and put this on the site already because I cut it and made sure there wasn't like all these, when there's lots of moving pieces or something, I want to make sure I don't want to do it till I make sure it goes together, but I folded the main piece to make sure that worked. And that was really the only like folding piece of it. You could too scoot this over a little bit, which I almost would do. Maybe, because it'd hang over here. But I'd like to see just a little bit of that behind it. But thank you guys, and everybody have a good rest of your week. It's a short week. It means Friday comes sooner. Well, I mean, it's still Tuesday, but it feels like a Monday. So, no problem, Mindy. I was happy to do it. Aren't you just happy that I did it before I went live instead of, hold on, guys, we're going to do 200 clicks just for this. But the whole point was that you can take any image in Design Space and turn it into your pattern paper. It might take a lot of clicks, but you can totally do it. You could add random. I mean, just think you could add a whole bunch of random different images and then create it totally however you like it. Oh, you know what'd be really cool too? We never do. Think about putting like messages in the pattern paper. You could put like, if it's somebody's 45th anniversary, you could put like happy anniversary, you know, their names in it, or the number of anniversary, or the birthday in it, and really customize the paper with like something special to them within the paper. So, all right, guys, kept you guys long enough. We will see you guys next time, everybody. And we don't have a giveaway yet, but we did start our September crafting challenge, which the link to that is posted below. And then we will have another giveaway starting soon. So make sure and watch for those, guys. We will see you guys later. Toodles, as Alex would say.